Let me hit the button so we get some music.
Wait, hold on.
No words could do justice to the way that I felt when I look in your eyes, and there's no one else but you. When I look down from the sky, it's the essence of your presence.
Stop that.
When I'm with you, I'm in heaven. More than feelings and more than beings.
Are you talking to me, Chief?
Yeah, I am. That's a cool commander. I feel that.
Say something?
What's up?
Okay, cool.
Look at this worm coil illusion.
Oh my god, that's disgusting. I love
Looks
that.
really good. This is crazy.
BRB. Literally need 10 seconds.
It's crazy that we're getting. We literally just got all the unfinished spoilers, and we're already getting previews for the freaking. The what you call it. Brandy's already in the chat. I'll see if you can hear us.
All right. 10 seconds.
Brian, I forgot to tell you we're doing the show tonight.
Yeah, we kind of just up and did it.
Yeah. But you're here like you always are, so.
That's all that matters, baby. That's all that matters.
How many more BR names can we rack up? Brandy, Brian.
It is a beautiful day at the Hashbrowns and Hashmarks podcast. A continual soiree. My name is Daryl. This is Spencer, and we are here today to discuss college football. But you already knew that.
What we do around these parts, folks, we, yeah.
Tell me something I don't know, Spencer.
I'll tell you something you don't know.
Give me a fact.
All right. A fact?
Give me a fact.
About college football?
No.
Okay. Did you know that I want to, some year that starts with a 1, did you know that in the state of Ohio at one point there were only 2 cars in the entire state and they hit each other?
That can't be true.
It is true.
How on earth could that possibly be true?
They were driving down the same road and they...
What year was this?
My brain wants to tell me 1897, but I feel like that's wrong.
I feel like you gaslight me right now. Ryan says, fun fact, my roommates in college were another Brian, Brittany, and Brendan. Dude, y'all are the Brady Bunch. It's ridiculous.
Literally.
Seriously, man. Well, tonight's a very special night. I'm going to give you a fact, Spencer. The fact that I'm going to give you is that since 2009, losses by top 10 teams in the first 4 weeks of college football, currently we are sitting at an all-time high since 2009 of 7 top 10 teams going down by week 4. It has not happened since 2009.
2007 part 2, baby.
We always say that, but this could be a pretty crazy little year. I don't know, man. It's shaping up to be interesting.
Kansas is good.
Minnesota is good.
Was Minnesota good in 2007? I don't know.
Well, that's true, but Minnesota's good now.
We still row the boat fans around here.
We still
in case y'all forgot, We still roll the boat around here.
You damn right we rode the boat. Let me fix the date. while I'm at
But
it.
Minnesota really did sell their soul for that 11-2 season in 2019. They really did.
Well, but then again, if you look at their slate this year, this is what I was going to bring out to you, my friend. Oregon didn't contribute to that stat because we were number 11. Let's go, hell yeah! But it should have been there. I mean, you think about it. Like, when was the last time there was 8 teams that were in the top 10 that went down? I don't know, but that's the stat that I found. So check this, man.
Another one I think might go down this week. We'll get there.
Well, we'll get to that. But hey, let me tell you something. So here's the thing about the Minnesota Golden Gophers, right? You look at their schedule, my friend. They are 4-0 right now, and I want you to pay very, very close attention. Let me hit the button on this, make sure that we're displaying correctly, and we are. Minnesota Golden Gophers, you look at their schedule. They beat New Mexico State. They beat Western Illinois. They beat Colorado. Again, not really big wins there, but they even beat Michigan State confidently. Right now, they are averaging on defense, allowing 6 points per game. My man, this defense is solid. And you look at their schedule; they play Purdue this Saturday. Then they go to Illinois, play the Illini, Brett Bielema. Winnable games. You circle the Penn State game because they got to go to Penn State. That is a night game. But if they get past that, I think they're smooth sailing past Rutgers, Nebraska, Northwestern, Iowa. We still have lots of questions about. They clearly don't have an offense. And then, of course, Wisconsin.
They don't have to play Michigan or Ohio State.
They don't have to play Michigan or Ohio State. They could be.
This is going to be that year that Iowa went undefeated and made it to the Big Ten Championship against Michigan State. They didn't have to play Michigan State, or Ohio State that season, and they just cruised.
The Gophers could be a bit of a problem for the playoff committee this year, depending on how things go. Because they are set to do it.
Give me a Minnesota, Kansas. A Minnesota, Kansas, NC State, Syracuse. No, it can't be NC State and Syracuse. Give me a Minnesota, Kansas, Syracuse, and somebody else playoff, and I'll be the happiest.
We row this boat around here. We row it.
We do.
The most confusing shit since Auburn, who has 2 mascots. They got an eagle and they got a tiger, but somehow Minnesota has a golden gopher and a fucking a boat, baby. Look, it's one of those schools with 2 mascots.
They don't have a. Well, row the boat is PJ Fleck's thing. He had that when he was at Western Michigan.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Whatever, mind. Maybe that's how War Eagle started too. Maybe there was the whole thing. Anyways,
War Eagle started because there was a way back in the early 19. I want to say he was a Civil War veteran. Was at an Auburn game and had his eagle with him.
Really?
And it took off flying and it left and somebody they said, "Oh look, there's a War Eagle," and then Auburn won the game.
It's like a medieval times. You ever been there? Mm-mm. So medieval times, in case anyone's ever never heard of this.
But I've never been.
What it is essentially, it's basically pro wrestling, but it's like medieval style. So you go in there, they ride horses, they put on these scripted fights where they clash swords, and it's really entertaining. It's a lot of fun. But so it's basically like a Renaissance festival type beat, and you're sitting like you have your house, you sit in, you sit with the crowd, and like they give you a knight of a certain color, like red, green, purple, blue, whatever. But they don't allow you, they bring you food. It's like a dinner and a show. They bring you food, but they don't bring you utensils. You have to literally eat like a half a bird with your hands, and then, you have like little wet wipes or whatever. They don't give you utensils. And you'd think it's like, okay, they're just trying to be accurate because, you didn't really have utensils then or whatever. It's trying to be very medieval. You're trying to feel very like, oh, I'm eating with my hands. However, I have heard that the real reason for that is because they have a hawk that is trained to fly around the room, and I've seen this happen. I've been to these shows. There's a hawk that flies around the room, and apparently silverware will reflect and confuse it because it's supposed to go back to the original place it was supposed to be at. So apparently the silverware throws it off. Don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's what I heard.
Folks, we make matte black plastic spoons. Just want to make you aware of that. Medieval times. Matte black plastic exists.
I think you just debunked my theory, but that's a thing. Brian says, please tell me every time the Gophers get a touchdown, the crowd chants "Gopher 2." I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Speaking of going for 2. Now, excuse me. Speaking of just fun little tidbits and things that crowds specifically do,
I got a going for 2 thing. You tell me your thing, and it might be the same thing I'm about to tell you about.
Well, no, you go ahead because mine is news, and I feel like it'll be interesting for you. So
Speaking of going for 2,
yeah.
Guess who went for 2 this past weekend, Daryl?
Who did actually?
Stephen F. Austin.
Oh, what happened here?
Yes.
Tell me, explain
I
what
don't know if
happened.
I showed you this, but Stephen F. Austin this past Saturday played a game against NAIA school Wagner University.
Uh-huh.
The final score of this game was Stephen F. Austin 98, Wagner nothing.
Jeez.
Stephen F. Austin had 92 points and scored a touchdown. They went for 2 to make it an even 100 and missed.
That's not even a victory anymore. Like, if that happens to me, I'm going to the locker room sad.
Yeah.
The fact that we came up that close, like, has that? I'm sure that's been
Need I
done.
remind you, this was with like 6 minutes left in the game.
They
They
didn't
could
get
have
the.
scored again.
They didn't get the ball back.
I don't know. Maybe they just
Good
stopped.
God!
You
I
just
guess.
start kneeling on the ball every play. You're up 98 to nothing. Like, it's like that time, in the Les Miles era when LSU, it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We were playing Ole Miss and we got right to the goal line and needed 3 times.
That's some big boy energy right there. To say, nah, we don't.
It says, I dare you to run on this defense.
Yeah, seriously.
And we did, and Ole Miss did not. And I remember the announcers, he was like, if I'm Ole Miss's players, I'm pissed off right now. Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, man.
Because LSU said bring it, and they didn't bring it.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Yikes.
98, it's been a long time.
But you
since-
gotta think as a coach though. It's like, okay, let's get out of here. Like, we've clearly won this game. We've clearly lost this game. Let's actually get out of here without any injuries. You know what I mean?
But it's been since like the 90s since a team scored that much, and that was the University of Houston playing against SMU, who had just got the death penalty.
That's an amazing fact, Brian. Hey, speaking of the
free talk about the Rose Garden when the Blazers scored 100. I love that.
yeah, speaking of the death penalty, something that SMU got once upon a time. Did you see the game day sign that said the SMU said this weekend where it was like, we paid payers before it was cool?
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
I like that shit.
Hell yeah.
SMU let us down though. It was a good game for the Skillet. Shout out
It
TCU.
was.
But
Yeah, they did it. No, hell of a job. TCU looks pretty good after that game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Undefeated.
Hey,
Quietly
Big 12,
undefeated.
Big 12 needs to watch out. I mean,
Kansas and TCU. Who would have thought it?
and Kansas State laid the
Kansas State,
smackdown,
too.
made their
K-State.
case statement as they
They
usually
just
do.
have Oklahoma's number, bro.
They do. They do.
I don't know what it is. Like,
It's
you
a-
lose 17 to 10 to freaking Tulane, and then you march into Norman and put up like 45
In Norman.
points.
In Norman.
In Norman.
I can't explain that one. But yeah, if you missed that, Oklahoma got upset this weekend. Top ranked Oklahoma, not top ranked, but top 10 ranked Oklahoma did lose this weekend to K-State.
Number 6. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they were
yeah.
at the time.
And another one, like I was saying.
Oklahoma's good for one loss every year, though.
Mm-hmm.
They lose a game they should not lose, and then they turn it into hyperdrive.
Isn't that crazy?
They'll bench a quarterback or something will happen. Who's their? Please, okay. Y'all lose games you shouldn't lose, and you bench quarterbacks. Bench Dylan Gabriel and let it be the General Booty show, please.
Oh yeah. At this point, right? I mean, why not? Well, hey man, I got a question.
But no,
for you.
Dylan Gabriel's actually really good.
Yeah, he is. I have a question for you.
What's up, man?
What is one feature you do not want in the new NCAA video game?
The one I don't want is the one I didn't want, but it's gonna be in there because it's EA. Of course, it was Ultimate Team.
Uh huh.
But I can't really think of any other that I don't want.
Well, I want to tell you one that's not going to be in there. This is news according to Matt Brown, who is somebody on Twitter, but apparently it's a real thing because I saw it all over the place. According to documentation, NEC was not on the list of audio assets that LSU submitted to EA Sports College Football video game.
Deal.
Yeah, I know you're fine with that.
Take it.
Yeah.
I mean, the audio would be fine, but I don't want the crowd chanting. Crowd chants.
Yeah. In case you didn't know what NEC is, it is a chant that LSU does whenever the band plays a song. They say "suck that tiger dick, bitch," which I believe is a very, formal and respectful thing to say during a football game, of course. So,
And I'm an adult. I can handle that type of language.
what are you, the Lonely Island? I am an adult.
But it's like, do we have to do this? Like I get it, but
Isn't the actual lyrics to that like talking out the side of your neck? Isn't
yeah.
that what's supposed
We
to be
played
said
it in
there?
band in high school.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
We played
remember
neck.
I remember this.
But yeah, it's talking out the side of your neck.
In other news,
Which means you're lying, you're bullshitting, you're
yeah. It's cap. Before
Yeah.
we called it cap.
cat.
In other news, after losing to Tennessee on Saturday, Florida has lost 10 of its last 12 SEC games. There's a
Boy,
stat for
howdy.
you. If you think I'm taking the Gators again at all this year, you got another goddamn thing coming.
Told you, man. Tennessee's special, bro.
I did take them to win this weekend. And so you know who else took the Gators this weekend, by the way? I didn't speak of which we can actually get to our results. But you know who else took the Gators this weekend, by the way? Kirk Herbstreit. He did. And when he said that, I was like, yes.
College game day.
He did, and I was like, yes, because I just knew. And look, Anthony Richardson played a lot better. I mean, seriously, he looked a lot better. He obviously didn't play well enough to win, but all around, like, I was much more impressed. He looked like he actually had this thing together. Everything felt complete. Everything felt together. There was obviously mistakes. Tennessee's defense had a lot to do with that. But that hooker running back for Tennessee, or excuse me, that hooker,
the quarterback.
Ooh, that man's
if we gave out Heisman's in September, he's my number one.
He's a grown man. He really is. He's like 24. Sucker's good. Sucker's very, very good.
Beast.
But
September Heisman's, if we gave them out in September, it'd be Hendon Hooker and Jalen Daniels, the quarterback from Kansas, because he's really good too.
Yeah, and not getting the respect he deserves either. By the way, Jalen Daniels.
Because it's Kansas, and the AP voters are like, oh, the teams we wanted to win are
a team that has a better strength of schedule than NC State, but is in the same record, but somehow not ranked for NC State's like number 15, I think.
NC State's number 10.
To 10. Oh, God. See, they're even that higher. And they're playing Clemson this weekend. They'll get exposed, I promise. So anyways, we'll talk about it. But, yeah, so week 4 results. Me and Spencer both went 5-3. I should have took the Aggies, but I just felt I was scared. Took the Hogs. Florida, I don't feel bad about. I thought there was something there. But, yeah, we both picked Kansas to win. Of course, they did. Baylor did beat Iowa State, so I had you there. Trojans won. Oregon won a scary one. Brian knows about this.
They scored 22 points in 3 minutes.
Unbelievable. I mean, saved our ass. I can't explain that one. I didn't even watch that game because I looked up and saw the score. I was going to turn it on. I saw they were losing that bad. I was like, time to dip out.
Yeah, dude, freaking Washington State was dog walking them, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then I looked up, and Brian sent me a message. He was like, let's go. And I was like, what's happening? And then I looked at the score and it said final, Ducks 44, Cougars 41. I was like, hold on, man. Like,
college football, my friend.
I love it.
But both of us.
Also, Cameron Ward, this quarterback, I think he was the I think he transferred from University of Incarnate Word, which is right up the road from me in San Antonio. It's a Catholic school, which I considered going to when I was in high school. Yeah, that dude's a beast.
Oh yeah,
he's
absolutely
really good. Did you see? I don't know if you can pull it up without us getting like demonetized or whatever, or copyright stricken. He had a play where he was running, and Oregon guy got him around the legs, and he was falling forward and just flipped it, and it just got to his guy, and his guy got a few yards.
If I had seen the game, I'd be able to pinpoint that, but I'm not even going to try. Let's see. Shovel pass?
Yeah, probably shovel pass.
Let's see if I can find it. Man, what did you think of the Wake Forest game?
Oh, that game was nuts. Wake Forest should have had it.
I'll tell you what. Wake Forest's offense. Here we go. This is real quick while we have it. Cameron Ward's flip pass. I haven't seen this, so this would be me kind of reacting to it. Actually,
we don't really do play of the week no more, but this would be mine.
This would be yours, huh? Let's see. Okay, so they're down. They're up by 5 at this point. Fourth quarter, runs up, gets tackled, doesn't actually tackle, falls forward and throws it. Look at that, and all that extra yardage because they got to him. If you get to him, and he can get the ball out to somebody, it's going to be a lot of yards every time. Look at that.
Also, that all gray. That
yeah. Woo. I'll tell you what. Speaking of that Wake Forest game, DJ
Sam Hartman's the real damn deal, bro.
Uwe Ungalele, I believe I said that right. Uwe Ungalele. DJ Uwe.
He did. I was shit talking him last week. He did better than I thought he was going to.
He had one play that was just incredible. I mean, he was getting tackled. Here we go. I think this is it. Maybe he's getting tackled. That's not the right play. Hang on a minute. I want to find this one. This was crazy. Damn it, I want to find that play. Was this it? He's getting tackled as he makes this throw. It's insane. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, well, I'm going to find it. But the point I'm trying to make is he was very impressive. He won that game for them. I think this Clemson team is going to go as he goes because the defense, to me number one, was not that impressive. Now, what was impressive to me this entire game was Wake Forest's offense.
but they were also playing Sam Hartman, which is
Sam Hartman is phenomenal, and I tell you what, that offensive line that he has is, I think they called it the most experienced offensive line in football, in college football. The reason I think that everything worked, obviously the O-line would look really good, but man, that mesh concept they have with the wide receivers coming across, getting somebody open every single time, and then having the option for that delayed handoff to just be like, wait, okay, now take it, or wait, I got somebody, throw it. To be able to have an O-line that can make that happen, let me tell you something, that is a fun offense to watch because you just can't stop them.
That's like a principle of the air raid, and you run like an option read.
Yeah,
oh my God,
you can't stop them. I mean, you really can't. And so they had Clemson had no answer for it. You hate to see it because Wake Forest truly, they have the squad, especially with that O-line. If they had a little bit more defense, they win this. I'm not even saying that they're out of it, but I kind of think that they're out of it. Even if they win out from here, you have the one loss to Clemson.
Are they in different divisions?
That I don't know.
Because if they're in different divisions, Wake Forest can still make it to the ACC championship.
If they make it to the championship and then they win it, yeah, I think that they're going to be really nasty in the playoff. But man, it's just their defense. If they can figure that out, because the offense obviously is dynamite.
Give me a freaking Wake Forest, Kansas, Minnesota.
Yes, I did.
Playoff.
Right. Hey, that'd be fun, man. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, so to recap last week, with both they would go 5-3 on the season. You did get back to 0 for your, so you had the big Georgia flop at the beginning of the year, trying to pick Oregon to go over them. So you got behind on the score, but you're catching back up. They're bringing you through, man. They brought me through a little bit this year too as well. 28-3 for me on the year.
Baylor was probably a mistake.
Yeah, probably so. 16-15, but you're finally above 50%, so that's good. So we're trending up, and I'm due for a shitty week. I had a 5-3. That's my worst record so far. So, but yeah, man, it's been a good year so far. We have some more games to pick, obviously. A couple more little news bits for you I did want to share.
Also, can we talk about USC got exposed this week? They went up to Corvallis and only won by 3.
A little bit, my man.
Wait till they play Washington State or Washington or Oregon. Somebody gonna get them.
Just a
wee bit.
Watch it
be a bad team too, like Arizona or Arizona State.
Well, let's look at their schedule.
Watch it be a bad team.
Let's look at their schedule and figure out where the real threats lie for this Trojan team.
What's up, Steven? We see you, my boy.
Steve-O, what you doing, big boy?
Checking out the show before recording. So what you recording? I'm still doing the podcast,
Ooh,
right?
No, I think they stopped the podcast. You must be recording something
Y'all
else.
stop the podcast? I know y'all were going to, but I didn't know if y'all had any shows left. Or are you going on with Jesse and them?
Could be that. All right, so obviously USC 4-0 start. They got Arizona State. We should win that game. Washington State, as we know, Washington. Hey, Brian called it. The Washington teams look pretty good. So Washington State, it is going to be at home.
The Apple Cup's going to be fun this year.
Yes, absolutely. Utah, still nothing to be messed with. They're still number 12, still looking a lot better after that starting game. Arizona should be a cakewalk. Cal should be a cakewalk. Colorado be a cakewalk.
Florida just caught lightning in a bottle.
I think that might have. UCLA looks pretty good. Brian Kelly obviously has them boys looking nice.
Undefeated, bro.
UCLA is cooking, again, quietly. No one's talking about it, but they look fine. So you circled that one. I think you got to circle Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame's kind of ass this year. I don't know.
Notre Dame would be the team to beat USC.
Watch that be, yeah. Watch a
USC's dropping like 2 or 3 of these guys.
A 5-6 Notre Dame team just trying to get to bowl eligibility knocks off an undefeated USC. A perfect world.
But they're going to drop that one to. They don't have to play Washington.
Nope, no Washington, just Washington State.
They're going to drop. Washington State's going to beat USC.
Could be.
I love how there's like a 4-way race right now for like the Pac-12 North between the 2 Washington schools and the Oregon schools.
Dude,
it's going to be a fun way to play it out.
It really is.
Although Washington State does now own... No, Oregon has the victory over Washington State. I want them to cannibalize each other. They all beat each other. Like Washington State beat Oregon. Oregon beat Washington State. Now Washington State needs to beat Washington.
Just truly become the SEC East in previous years.
Or the 2008 Big 12 South.
Yeah.
Steven says, so if a lower-ranked team beats a higher-ranked team, does that boost them in the rankings more than usual? Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Depending on if that team is good, because, we talk about the 2007 season all the time. 5 of the last 7 weeks of the season, the number 2 team in the country lost to an unranked team. Mm-hmm. And only one of those teams that beat number 2 finished in the top 25.
Yeah.
So like,
It usually says more. It usually says
bullshit
more.
happens all the time.
When that type of thing happens, it usually says more about the the better ranked team. The fact that they're probably overrated more than the other school being. It's obviously good that you're an unranked team and you beat somebody.
But there
like
are
that,
also times when you have a team that's like ranked in the 20s, like 20 through 25, who is much better than that ranking, and they go and just mollywop somebody. In the top 10.
Right.
Like, that's happened before.
Because all the rankings are how good we think the teams are based on all of the factors and the funny little ball that we play the game
But
with
it's
that
also up
bounces
to
around.
vote.
Yeah,
the AP
exactly.
voters are human.
Exactly.
And they have biases. Like, they think Pitt is better than Kansas right now.
And it's funny, like even me, like watching Kansas and being very impressed with what I've seen. Even me, I'm like, I don't know, can Kansas do? Like that's just the bias that we've learned over years and years. Like,
But we have to, like...
does that sound right? Kansas. Yeah.
The Jayhawks.
Speaking of the Jayhawks, let's get to some picks. Kansas is playing Iowa State this weekend, my man. And Iowa State is coming off of a very close loss to Baylor. Let me find this game. I thought I already had it pulled up, but I do not.
Steven says, wow, this rabbit hole goes deep. Yes, it does.
Oh, God, yeah.
The lore of college football is great, Daryl.
That's right. I have to actually go find it because they're not fucking ranked. Why is Kansas not ranked? This is ridiculous.
Rank Kansas, you cowards.
Oh, my God. That's unbelievable. Put some respect in these motherfuckers. 4-0, baby. 4-0 Kansas at home. A 3-point dog at home against the Iowa State Cyclones team that has lost
dog at home.
at home. That's just coming off a loss to Baylor.
So if we pick Kansas and they win, we get 2 points, right?
Well, no, because it has to be 6. So anything that's within 3 to 6 or 0 to 6 is 1 point. If they're more than a touchdown, and I say 6 like as in a touchdown, not just a field goal, but if they're favored, basically if they're beyond the first touchdown, that's when you get more points for it, for picking them. But yeah, the Jayhawks at home got the Cyclones coming in. Listen, man, this Jalen Daniels is for real, and honestly, their defense obviously leaves a lot to be desired, but offensively they are moving the ball just fine. Who you got in this one, man? Jayhawks, Cyclones.
Jayhawks.
You going Jayhawks?
Give it to Jayhawks, baby. Rock Chalk Jayhawks.
Riding them,
like,
huh? Okay.
I'm high on Iowa State. I like Matt Campbell. I was a big fan of Brock Purdy. Jayhawks.
Okay.
Not even thinking about it. Give me the Jayhawks. They're at home. Jalen Daniels is going to throw it all over the yard, run it all over the yard. Also, please do me a favor. Kansas's running back had an amazing play in their game against Duke this past week. Mm-hmm. Go watch the Spanish broadcast of that play. It will change your life.
Noted.
It's hilarious. Yeah, Jayhawks.
You look at this Jayhawks season, it is not getting easier. You get through Iowa State this week, let's assume that happens, then you got to go take care of TCU, who is looking mighty fine quietly. Then you got Oklahoma.
Game day in Fort Worth, maybe?
Game day in Fort Worth, potentially. I think if they win this game, yeah, that happens. I think that's exactly where they take that game.
I don't know of any other big games next week.
Oklahoma, then they got Oklahoma, then they got Baylor, then they got Oklahoma State, then they got Tech, then they got Texas, then they got K-State. There is no more cupcakes in the schedule. It is a full Big 12 bracket, a lot of them on the road.
Does the dream die after next week? That's what
I think, my friend, that it dies this week. I'm actually taking the Cyclones here. I hate to say it. I hope Kansas win. I hate to say it, but I think that they are good, but they are not quite there. I think they're a B+ player. I got to take the Cyclones here. And I hate to say it.
Never be happier for you to be wrong about
I think this is the best defense that they've played all year, and I think it's going to change things. UCLA and Washington, my friend.
Oh, my God. They're playing this week?
They're playing this week.
Two more undefeated teams. Here we go.
I'm telling you, man. UCLA and Washington is going to be in a very vacant Rose Bowl. That has there's going to be about 10 people at that game. 86 degrees. It's going to be in Pasadena. It's going to be a 9:30 night. It's going to be a night game. So maybe there'll be 10 people there instead of 5.
9:30 local time?
9:30, 9:30 local time.
They're going to get done to that game about 2 in the morning.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a long one.
Pac-12 after dark, baby. Yeah.
But Michael
I don't
Penix
know.
Jr. obviously looking fantastic at Washington right now. We remember the big play he had in the COVID year, and that was a lot of fun. That play he had against.
That was 2 seasons ago, which feels
that's
like a lifetime.
I know, but obviously very talented. Hey, listen, man, he's throwing for almost 1,400 yards, only throwing 1 pick. This guy's solid. I mean, he's comfortable with the ball. This is a Huskies team that I think a lot of people are really writing off. Quietly, number 15, man.
Is UCLA ranked?
UCLA is not ranked, but they are 4-0. And I think the reason that they're not ranked is because the best team they've beaten is Colorado.
Also, can we talk about if you transported someone from 1993 to today, and you told them that teams are actually happy to see Nebraska and Colorado on the schedule, they would look at you like you had 5 heads.
They'd be like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah.
What you mean?
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go Washington.
So am I. This Huskies team is for real. I think honestly UCLA is going to move the ball around on it, but this to me feels like a high scoring game.
Yeah, it's gonna be Pac-12. They're gonna
this
throw and run it all over the yard.
I think so. I think this is going to be like a 38-41 affair. It's going to be a fun game, and I think the only reason I think it's going to be that close at the end, but it is not going to feel that close all game because I think UCLA is going to be trailing the entire time. Washington's a very good team. They're moving the ball in both facets very well right now. Give me the Huskies as well.
Let's hope the Huskies come out with some big Penix energy. Shout out RG3.
RG3 has got to be stopped. This man.
The menace.
Hey, do they give out Heisman's for commentators? Because he might
he's winning it.
He might get my vote.
I need him and Gus Johnson in the booth together, please.
Oh man,
that happen.
That'd be so much fun.
I need Gus Johnson just yelling and saying random words versus and RG3's like jokes.
Gus Johnson, just to me, knows how to create a moment.
He really does.
Big time SEC matchup here. Big time top 15 matchup here. Kentucky, the Wildcats, number 7. If you transport back to your original statement a minute ago, if you transported somebody from back in the day to now and said that Kentucky was number 7,
Number 7.
they'd be like, "Is it basketball season, my boy? What's going on here?" The Wildcats going to visit the Rebels.
And if you told me that last week that Kentucky was number 7 and Kansas and Duke were undefeated,
stupid. Just
Syracuse
stupid.
is undefeated, and Indiana, I think, is undefeated. UCLA is undefeated. All the basketball is this March?
I just hope that we look up in, early November and we're still having this, I can't believe this team's good. We won't. Obviously, some of these guys are going to get booted out of here. But the Wildcats and the Rebels in Oxford. Lane Kiffin, as we all know, has been changing things. The culture, the everything over there. He's got the team looking very, very good. Not as many pieces, I believe. Didn't Ole Miss lose kind of their big-time quarterback not too recently to the draft? Or I forgot who they had. They had somebody really good.
Plumlee transferred to UCF.
Right, and then they got after him. Was it Corral?
Matt Corral went to the Panthers.
That's right.
And then tore his ACL in training camp.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, but if I had to play behind Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jackson Dart is their guy now.
Jackson Dart, USC transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking about Ole Miss, this is going to get into not my uniform of the week, but a helmet. I want you to go look at the helmets that Ole Miss is wearing.
I'm way ahead of you, my friend. I saw it on Twitter. Look at this. Unbelievably pretty. You know what this...
Real Tree Camo. This is the first time a kind of sports brand has partnered with a sports like a college football team to rock a helmet like this, because the founder of Real Tree Camo played football at Ole. That's why they're doing this.
Gotcha.
I think these look incredibly sick.
They look very, very nice.
I hope they wear the powder blue jerseys and white pants, because that'll look just crispy.
You know what this helmet reminds me of? It reminds me of, you remember back in the day, maybe they still do this. You know the Coors Light beers that when you put them in the fridge, they get cold, and then suddenly the mountains turn. That's what this reminds me of. I feel like if you put these in the refrigerator, they're going to turn blue in these spots. That's the vibe I get from these.
Yeah, I think these look slick. These look slick as hell.
No, they look fantastic.
I have to send you a thing because it involves the game we're talking about.
Okay.
I'm putting it in our Discord.
All right. I'm looking for it. There it is.
So famously,
Duke's
the quarterback Will Levis of the Kentucky Wildcats puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Unbelievable.
If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Yeti products.
Yes, you are.
I discovered recently, I'm also a big fan of Duke's mayonnaise. It's the only mayonnaise that I will use. I recently discovered that Duke's mayonnaise has Yeti. Yeti has the Alpine yellow color. Duke's mayonnaise is yellow, so they have a yellow black mug like I just sent you.
Yeah.
I sent you because it relates to him putting mayonnaise in his coffee.
That's a psychopath to do that.
But because Will Levis puts mayonnaise in his coffee, give me the
You say who? Who you taking?
The Rebels.
The Rebels.
Give me
Yeah.
Ole Miss. I like the Lane Kiffin offense. I don't know if it runs kind of the same way it did with Matt Corral and Jackson Dart. I haven't watched Ole Miss. My wife's family, they're from Kentucky. Her dad's side of the family, they're from Kentucky. They're all big Blue Nation fans. I like Kentucky. But yeah, I like these helmets. I think, you ask anybody, the Grove at Ole Miss is like the best tailgating environment in college sports. So.
I'm
I feel like people aren't talking about how good Ole Miss can be.
Yeah.
It's just quietly just sitting there.
Yeah.
So
This is a tough one for me. If this were in Kentucky, I would absolutely pick the Wildcats here. I think they're solid. I think that defensively they're very stout. They are secure with the ball as far as I've seen. And you know what? Honestly, even though they are on the road here, they were on the road against Florida, and that was a tough environment to play in. This is one, again, I'm split. I want to pick the Rebels, but something in my gut is telling me I need to go with the Wildcats. I think I'm going to go with them this week, simply because I feel like both teams are unproven. And I look at the schedule they both have played. Neither one has really played. The only big-time opponent that either one has played was Kentucky whenever they beat Georgia at Georgia, and they did it convincingly. Yeah. That's like, I'm sorry. I meant when they beat when they beat.
So
Florida.
they haven't played Georgia yet. We would know about it if they beat Georgia.
That'd be a whole different. But yeah, they beat Florida at Florida. Outside of that, both teams' schedules before that, we got Tulsa, Georgia Tech, Troy. The Ole Miss is beaten. Ole Miss hadn't played anybody yet. This is their first real challenge. I think the Wildcats got it. So give me Kentucky here.
All right, bet. Brian says mayo and coffee should be against the Geneva Convention. I agree. Like, now, I've heard of you bake a cake, and instead of using eggs and oil, you put mayonnaise in it.
Yeah, because it's
moist.
Yeah, it's a fat.
But I mean, because that's what mayonnaise is, right? But what does it do to the coffee? I would never try it. I just want to know, what
you
it
could
does
try
to the
it.
coffee.
You could try it. You're the same
But
person
I don't
that
like
used to
coffee
put.
either.
Well.
It's not that I don't like coffee. I'm just not a coffee drinker.
Yeah, I know what
So
you
it's
mean.
it's gonna be something that I already don't drink.
I want.
And I like mayonnaise, but mayonnaise has to be in the context of a sandwich or used as the base for a salad dressing. But just mayonnaise, ugh.
Yeah. I love the smell of coffee, but I don't like the taste. I kind of just want to get a coffee maker and brew a pot of coffee every morning just to make the house smell good, and then I drink it.
It's not a coffee scented candle. They make that.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
I agree.
This is an interesting game. So this is going to be a home game for the underdog, Arkansas, the Razorbacks, 17-point dogs against the Crimson Tide coming into town. A game that Lee Corso picked last week. Arkansas was going to beat A&M and then go beat Alabama. Arkansas almost did that, and in fact, they probably should have they made that field goal. We don't know. There was about a minute and a half left. I don't really trust the A&M offense to get that done. This is probably a game that they probably should have won. Should be going undefeated into this game. They are number 20 now. Alabama is number 2, but we did see them struggle against Texas. Game day will be in Fayetteville.
They would have been in Fayetteville.
Oh, they would have.
They're going to beat Clemson for Clemson, NC State.
Which would be a good game.
But
this is
Arkansas, y'all could have had game day. You just had to.
This is the 2:30 CBS spot.
When forever and now on, you know how when a kicker hits the goalpost, we call it a doink. Mm-hmm. If it hits the top of the goalpost, it's called an oink forever.
Hell yeah.
Because
cemented as a legacy.
But Bacon Bits has been doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Funny Man calls him. He calls him bacon.
Bacon
Bits.
bits. Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah. KJ Jefferson's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Let
probably.
me tell you a stat that I read, and I wish I could find it on Instagram right now, but I'm not sure if I can. Bryce Young has played. It was less than 10 like true road games, and all of them were decided by one score.
That is true, isn't it?
And
Look at, I mean, the only one this year would be Texas, and yeah, one score.
literally as close as a game can be and still have a winner.
Let's do this. Let's look at this. Okay, so hang on a minute now. So hang on. So Alabama. Okay,
I saw it on
Texas.
Twitter.
So Texas was the one from this year. Last year, Auburn at Auburn, 22-24. They won that game. They go to Mississippi.
Not won that game, but they did.
They go to Mississippi State, 40-99. They slaughter them. A&M, they lost at A&M. Florida, they won by 2 points at Florida. Go back to 2020.
Did he start for them in 2020?
I don't think he did. At Arkansas, they won that. LSU, they won that. Convincing. Yeah, so it was just 2021. Listen, man, that's a good point.
He's played 5, it's like 4 or 5 true road games.
I think 5 true road games, and only one, and each of them, 4 of them, he has won by a one-score possession.
Less
like
than a score.
That is an interesting stat. Good fucking work finding that. Good shit.
Yeah. So, everyone, obviously I'm an LSU fan. If you know me, you know I dislike Alabama. I'm not as bad about it as I used to be. If you know me from real life, I used to be like dumb about that shit.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. Anyway, so you know what? Yes, he's the reigning Heisman winner. I don't think Bryce Young is all that. Yes, he's a cool customer. He's calm, cool, collected. I just don't think he's like the next. The second coming.
He's not the most efficient quarterback, but what I think what makes him special is that he's great in big moments.
But like, he's be good for the whole game, you know, like.
Well, the same could be said of Tony Romo.
Yeah,
I think that I'm making that comparison.
If the Cowboys didn't have Jason Garrett as their coach, fame by.
Well, the Wi-Fi cut you out because whatever you said was capped there. But the point I'm trying to make is like when you look at a quarterback like Joe Burrow all throughout his college career, efficiency. He scored every drive he possibly could. He knew how to run an offense to take care of the clock. I mean, this man was efficient. This is a guy that would crush and squash opponents. He even did it to Alabama. It was close for most of that game, but he kept his foot on the gas the entire time. Bryce Young is clutch. He comes through in big moments, but he is not the most efficient quarterback. He's fun to watch, but he's not.
You in the ass eventually.
Exactly. And so, where are you going with this? Let me ask you that.
So obviously Arkansas's on the rise. We talked about we like Arkansas.
Yep.
You know, that fan base is energized. We like Sam Pittman. Everything in my soul is telling me to pick Arkansas. It's in Fayetteville. It's the 2:30 CBS slot. It's everything you want. Prime.
Then do it. What
prime
you waiting for?
pickings for somebody to upset Alabama.
What you waiting for? That's 3 points if you're right, big boy.
But I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Oh, you fucking pansy. Come on, man. Come on.
I can't. I just made it back to 0. I can't be picking this because there may be another game that I don't know how many. There's another game I want to talk about that we should add for points because
I bet it's on there.
Pick an upset.
I bet it's on there. Yeah, me too, man. Giving the Crimson Tide, and I think the difference is the defense here. Arkansas, I think that they have played reasonable
I'm cheering
opponents.
for Arkansas. But
Of course. And if Arkansas wins this game, you'll hear me doing jumping jacks, right? Like I'll be very excited for them. But you look at the games they've played: South Carolina, Cincinnati, A&M, Missouri State. Which was
almost an upset.
Weirdly, Missouri State put up more points than anybody but South Carolina. And my point is that Arkansas, although they have a great pass rush, they are leading the nation in sacks, or at least they were going into the A&M game. I don't know if that's still true now, but they were at that time. They are last in the secondary. They have terrible secondary. If they cannot get to Bryce Young, and I guarantee you they won't be able to as much as they want to with this jacked, absolute line of dogs that is the Alabama offensive line, Bryce Young is going to pick them apart. It is going to be Probably, I think honestly, a kind of a high scoring game. I think Alabama wins this game like 38-27. Arkansas is going to put up some points. They just can't keep up because their defense is not there. So give me them the Crimson Tide. But man, it would be special if they won this at home. They get up early, make a couple stops, get ahead, play chase to the end of the game, and then finally pull it out. That'd be really nice. But I just don't see it happening.
Daryl, can I tell you? We talked about this through text, but I need to tell the people.
Let's hear it.
The people need to know that America's darlings are not safe.
Okay.
You can be the favorite team.
Yes.
In the country. For a week.
You can.
But 28-3 is coming to get you. It is going to happen, and I really wish coaches would, if you see you're about to go up to 28-3,
just go for two. Go for two.
Please go for two, because then you're either up 29-3 or 27-3.
Yep.
Please, because
I really wish there would be a
darlings,
coach that actually took that advice.
America's darlings, App State played against James Madison this week. Also, rank James Madison, you cowards,
no
because they're
kidding.
undefeated too.
I'm telling you.
They
man.
played James Madison. James Madison is in their first year in the FBS, and they're currently undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
App State upsets A&M on the road. They get game day in Boone. They have a Hail finish against rival in Troy.
Yep.
Come back this week, they go up 28-3 on James Madison, and then the Twilight Zone.
They shouldn't have did that.
Should not have done that because they ended up losing the game 32-28.
Whoopsie. Sorry, hit a button, guys. Didn't need to do that.
But 28-3 is coming for you.
That's incredible. I can't believe that's true. It's like the Cowboys in the NFL. Sort of, but not really. The Cowboys haven't had that happen to them yet that I know of. Although I think they did that to...
We've given up some big comebacks, but it's never been 28-3 became famous when the Patriots played the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
Right.
A few years back.
And
the Falcons were up 28-3, and it would have been their first Super Bowl victory. But the Patriots came all the way back, and it was the first Super Bowl ever to go to overtime, and the Patriots ended up winning.
Tom Brady came out the half. Tom Brady came out the half with his dick out just to let motherfuckers. He came out at the half with his dick out and hard just to let motherfuckers know who's the hardest. I mean, he teed off on them boys in the second half. It was crazy.
Really
so yeah, and that was the end of it. You never want to be up that.
Yeah.
You never want to be up that score.
28-3 is cursed.
Yes.
We've established this. Falcons, Patriots, Michigan State, Illinois a couple years ago. There's been Mississippi State and Auburn last year. There's been James Madison, App State this year.
It's confirmation bias, but it's also like it's kind of creepy, you know?
Yeah, Alabama was up 28-3 on Vandy this past week, but they ended up winning the game 5-3. So
right.
but
it's
every
fun
time
to
you see 28-3 now, you're like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
no, it's fun to mess with it, and
it's like in the ethos of sports. Like now, has a score of 28-3 resulted in a comeback for the 3 more times than the 28 has won the game?
No.
It's only happened a few times.
No.
But the first time it happened, or not the first time it happened, but the most famous time it happened was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Appreciate the breakdown there, Professor Spencer. Needed that. Little history lesson. The Cowboys, Oklahoma State. Not of Dallas, the Cowboys going to visit the Bears in Waco. Baylor, number 16, Oklahoma State, number 9. Big time Big 12 matchup. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a lot of things, but it is not going to be a low-scoring game. These teams score. They do not play such a good defense. Who you got in this one, man?
Big 12, you don't have to play defense.
Well,
yeah.
Some teams do. Oklahoma State's usually one of them, but not this year, it seems.
I haven't watched a lick of Oklahoma State this year.
I haven't either. Spoiler alert, they are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Oklahoma State's been pretty good. We just passed the 15th anniversary and Mike Gundy's, which people forget happened in the infamous 2007 season.
Yes.
So, cherry on top of that, ice cream of deliciousness.
Hey, you got this one, man.
Yeah, it's in Waco, right?
It is in Waco. They are 2.5. The Bears, that is, they are 2.5 point favorites. The ESPN Football Power Index has them as a 63% chance to win. 65% chance to win. I don't know, man. I don't know that I'm
I don't know.
convinced.
I don't like those numbers.
This
Don't
is a
bet on
team.
this game. I don't like that.
No. Take the over, but they do.
Yeah.
They do. This is a Baylor team whose only loss is a double overtime loss to BYU. They beat Iowa State last week at Iowa State, which is a pretty big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty good Baylor Bears team. Oklahoma State is.
This is like flip a coin for me, but
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
All right.
Simply because me and their quarterback have the same name.
Okay. I'll give you State. And I'm going to take the Bears, actually. And I think the reason is because they have a little bit more time under their belts. I think you look at their schedule. It's still early in the year, right? You got to look at what you know. What I know about Baylor is that they have beaten some teams that are for real, and they've lost a very close one to a BYU team that is pretty good. And that was at BYU. It's a whole different ball game. You're in Waco. You're comfortable. It feels good in this state all of a sudden. It's feeling nice outside. Them boys are going to be like, ooh, I feel nice. Ooh, and they're going to go crazy. I think this is going to be a good game in the first half, and I think Baylor pulls away. I like the Bears here. I think they're a very, very good team. Blake Shapen's been pretty solid all year. Give me the Bears in Waco with a confident win. Now, this is one that I think is very interesting, and this actually might be the most fun game you can possibly watch this weekend. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons coming off a very close heartbreaker at home against Clemson, going to visit the Seminoles of Florida State, number 23, number 23 and number 22.
How is Florida State winning football games?
Florida State is winning football games because they have very good coaching.
Because Mike Norvell's a great coach.
Mike Norvell has got them boys looking...
they shouldn't have beat LSU because that was a fluke play. But
well, they also let him walk 99 yards down the field, so yeah, I kind of agree with you. So,
yeah, but Florida State being undefeated. I mean, if you've been a college football fan forever, that's not that weird. But like for the past 4 or 5 years, that's very weird. Yeah. Obviously, I watched all of the LSU Florida State game.
They beat a Louisville team that has beaten UCF, South Florida, who, by the way, 41-. This Louisville team beat South Florida 41-3, which is the same South Florida team that almost beat Florida in the swamp. Now, I'm not trying to say that means anything, but I think that means something.
Florida State might be pretty good.
If Florida State is looking solid, and they find a way to win. They squashed BC last week.
Is this in Winston-Salem or Tallahassee?
This is in Tallahassee, and again, I think it comes down to defense for Wake Forest. They're averaging 30 points per game allowed this year. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think that Florida State's quarterback is back.
My soul wants to say Wake Forest, but because it's in Tallahassee, give me the Seminoles.
Give me the Seminoles, too. I don't think that this team loses until there's somebody that's a big-time threat. Now, that being said, Wake Forest, I think, is a big-time threat if they had a defense. You come off that emotional loss. You got to go on the road. Your defense is already kind of struggling. I just don't see it. Give me the Seminoles.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and copy this over. We're both taking the Seminoles. We got Clemson next and NC State. Who is going to get exposed this game, Spencer?
Clemson and NC State being played in Life Valley, South Carolina.
You got to stop. Stop trying to make that a thing, Gretchen. It's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, good old Life Valley, South Carolina. Game day's going to be number 5 versus number 10.
I don't know what's up with this lighting. I look like I'm being cooked. But keep going.
NC State won this game last year in upset fashion. I am not a believer. Clemson gets on my nerves. I don't care much for Dabo Swinney.
I don't either. I'm not the biggest Dabo fan.
I don't care much for him. Clemson is like, I don't hate Clemson. They just get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Like, Ohio State used to just get on my nerves, and now I just don't like them. Like, Clemson just gets on my nerves, and it's just like, okay, y'all are good.
They low down. They some cheaters. They dirty. They some snitches.
But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be
It will be in Clemson Memorial Stadium.
Because they played them in. Where is NC State at? Are they in Chapel Hill?
No, that's North Carolina.
That sounds wrong. That's UNC.
Yeah. I don't know where NC State is. But whatever. The point is, it is going to be.
NC State, Duke, and North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to give you a spoiler. The Tigers are winning this game. Clemson is DJ Uiagalelei. I'm trying to get his name right. He was phenomenal last week. He really was. The defense obviously struggled against Wake Forest, but that is a high-powered offense. NC State has been solid offensively as well this year, but I think Clemson is just too much. I think you look at their schedule. You look at NC State's schedule. They've won some big ones too. They did beat Eastern Carolina in a pretty close one at Eastern Carolina. Texas Tech, of course, beat UT. And NC State beat Texas Tech pretty convincingly by 2 scores as well. So it's going to be a fun game. I just think Clemson goes the distance. I think they're more talented. I think they're bigger. I think they're stronger. I think that they are better coached. Give me the Tigers in this one. But yeah, NC State would be a fun one if they won it.
I hate to say it, but yeah, give me Clemson too. I want to say NC State so bad.
Yeah, this is a layup for me.
Clemson.
Then we have our last one, Iowa versus Michigan.
I knew this was on your
Hell
list.
yeah.
Let's talk about it, Daryl.
Let's get into it, baby.
Number 4, Michigan, the Wolverines, going to Iowa City, Kinnick Stadium.
The hell is this game?
11 a.m. kickoff, which
you got it memorized and everything.
Doesn't really bode well for the home team in this one because we know. But also, it's not November. You don't play at Kinnick at night in November if you're ranked in the top 10. Don't do it. You're gonna lose every time. Speaking of losing, that's what a top 5 team has done the last 4 out of the last 5 times they played Iowa. Iowa was unranked in all of those.
Yes.
4 of the last 5 times against the top 5 team, Iowa won the game, with the exception being Penn State and Iowa in, I want to say, a year on the calendar. That came down to the wire when Saquon was still at Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm still not at Iowa, still at Penn State. But
that's better.
But yeah, Penn State scored. They scored the winning touchdown literally the last play of the game. Ended up winning 21-19, which is a weird score.
Trying to
says y'all
stop.
gonna stay up to watch the Ducks play Stanford at 8 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, because that's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon Central.
Yeah, that ain't nothing.
So
that's a little bit better, kind of.
But yeah,
So say, are you taking the Hawkeyes then? is that what you were leading me to believe?
the Hawkeyes, they finally found an offense. They can score touchdowns now.
Yeah, because they're playing nobodies, playing Rutger and Nevada.
I saw a crazy stat last week that
Okay.
Iowa had more red zone trips as of before the last week's games happened. Iowa had more red zone trips than Texas A&M did.
Don't talk to me about that. I believe it though. I believe it. That offense is stagnant as hell.
That offense can't do a thing.
Well, but I tell you
So,
what,
you
Iowa
look at
right
this
now is the personification of old school Big Ten football. They have 9 rushing touchdowns to 1 passing touchdown on the year.
I saw a stat, and it was a graph of how far away the defense for a team is.
Yeah, I saw the same graph. Yeah.
Iowa is ranked number 9 country in defense, and they are ranked 131 in all.
Hey, listen.
There's only like 133. They're like bottom 5.
Hey
in
man,
offense,
if
but they're
team
top 10 in defense.
if teams could team up, like if you could take Iowa's defense and slap it onto Wake Forest's offense,
oh my god,
national champions.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, you know,
So what's gonna be
10 p.m. Central Time. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Ignore me.
Did you have it backwards?
Yeah, I had it backwards.
They're playing tonight?
Anyway, no. Do they play tonight? Ducks got a Thursday night game?
If it's Saturday, yeah, I'll be up.
Yeah, I'll be up. I don't know if I'll be watching that game, but yeah. So like Michigan, they've been running the ball well. Blake Corum.
They've been doing everything well. They look great.
Yeah, and ranked number 4. Michigan looks good, just as good as they did this year. Again, we got another one of those times where everything's, you know me, the way I make picks on this show. Everything pick Iowa, and God damn it, give me number 4 is going down, baby.
Let's go. Taking them on. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right.
Give me the Hawkeyes. This game is going to be bowling shoe ugly.
Oh, well, actually, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's the case. I think that Michigan's going to run away with this. I think that Michigan is going to run away with this.
You're probably correct.
I think it's going to start a little. I think it's going to.
I got to pick one big upset a year.
Oh, yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
This is it.
I think it's going to weirdly, mark my words, this might be something we clip. This is going to start out looking like a normal football game. It is going to be march down the field, field goal Iowa, march down the field, touchdown Wolverines, march down the field, touchdown Iowa, march down the field, touchdown. And I think before the first quarter is over, you're going to look up, it's going to be like 14-10. And you're going to go, what the hell is this script? We were expecting this to be a slow slugger. I think that Michigan's going to come out guns blazing. They're going to want to take the top off the defense, immediately throw it downfield. They're going to try to score big quick. They're not going to want to get in they're not going to want to get in the trenches. They're not going to want to play that type of script. That's when Iowa excels. They're going to want to speed this game up and get up fast. I think they try to take the top off the defense really, really early and then just stay on the gas pedal. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm just going to say it.
Iowa's got to find some offense.
They're going to, well, exactly. And if it follows the Iowa script of being really low scoring like that, yeah, I think the Hawkeyes have a little bit of an edge. But I think Michigan, especially on the road for Michigan like that, but I think if Michigan gets up early and the script of the game is, hey, this is going to be a boxing match, they're going to win every single time. So give them Michigan, and I think that's exactly what happens. I think they score on their first drive. And I think they score on their second drive. And it may slow down a little bit then, but I think that they're going to come out guns blazing. That's my guess anyways. So should be a fun game though.
Iowa's always good for like, Brian says you already picked your big upset for the year with Oregon, Georgia. You're right. But I mean, Oregon is very good, but I didn't expect Georgia to clap them like that.
You're good for like 5. For like good 5 upsets throughout the entire year. But yeah, there's our picks for the week, my friend. Looks like we disagreed on 1, 2. Hang on, let me fix this. We disagreed on 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
A lot this year.
We have been. It's been fun.
Also,
it's going better for one of us than the other, but that's okay.
For the love of God, if I am watching a college football game,
I know where you're going with this.
The network I've decided to watch this game on cuts away to the goddamn New York Yankees one more fucking time.
To watch Aaron Judge foul 4 balls in a row and then finally swing or watch a fastball go right by him.
Shit.
I mean, good God.
Did they cut away to the Yankees during Monday Night Football because they were playing at the same time? Of course they did. No, they didn't. They only like to shit on college football fans.
No.
He finally hit the shit. So we don't have to deal with
it. No. He tied it. So now they're going to do more cutaways to see if he beats
Aaron Judge, I swear to you got tomorrow.
Hey, that's no shit, right?
Do the Yankees play tomorrow? This, again, I just read a thing on Twitter. It says, if you're not a baseball fan, here's why the Aaron Judge story college football term. The New York Yankees are a team with a lot of decades, so their fans are desperate to celebrate Texas, close parentheses. Anyway, yeah, this makes me not like the Yankees already more than I didn't like the Yankees to begin with. I really don't like this. Just adds fuel to the fire of me not liking the Yankees. Their fans are garbage. Just yeah, don't ever do this to me again.
All I know is I was watching last week. I was watching the Wake Forest Clemson game, and I mean it was like a critical 3rd down, and bada bing, bada boom. Oh shit! I scored, and Joe Mason got a touchdown. Let's go! I got some fantasy points. It was a clutch 3rd down play, and DJ Uiagalelei throws just a dime for a touchdown to tie it up in the 3rd quarter, and I can't hear it. I see it on a tiny little screen. Aaron Judge is over there just like watching the fastball go by, and it's like, Chief, priorities here. we're all going
You
to watch
cannot
the.
find someone-
It's like the Kentucky Derby. Like I want to watch the Derby, sure, but if I'd rather watch something else, don't force me to watch it. I'm just going to go to Twitter later and watch the replay. Like I don't have to be there for that
Derby is
moment.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
going
have to watch the Derby.
Right,
Like,
and the
you all
home
look
run,
lovely
the
in your
home
nice
run
clothes
is
and your-
the home run is 15 seconds. I can just watch that on Twitter later and go, oh, how about that? Like it, move on, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I've got to pee. We need to end the show.
It's our baseball.
It's our baseball rant.
Shout out Albert Pujols, 4th man ever, 700 home run club, first Latino man to do it.
Love to see it.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds.
What a man's
Albert
name.
Pujols.
Hank Aaron. That's a fucking lumberjack right there.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one more helmet to show you, Daryl.
Oh, show me.
Boise State wearing throwback helmets. These helmets, just the way they've got them done up in this picture with this throwback. Boise, bring this logo back, please. I want this. If I ever order a Boise State T-shirt, it's going to be logo, because this logo is fire.
Is it
Hank Aaron,
is it
he's got a
orange?
hanker. No, it's partly orange. It's on a blue helmet. It's on their Twitter. It's on a blue helmet.
All right. I was looking at the wrong one.
It's a
Video.
throwback logo.
Here we go. Watch. I found it. Chamona. Here it is. Perhaps.
Whoa, that was cool.
Look at that.
That's pretty nice. Anyway,
Let me just pause
Yeah.
this mode. I just want to look at a still image.
Boise, bring this helmet, bring this logo back.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that logo now. That's nice.
That logo is phenomenal.
Yeah.
No stripe on the helmet either. This helmet's look clean.
Nah, very, very clean. Big fan of
I
that.
want Boise to come back in a big way. Like I want.
I do
Boise-
too. I miss when Boise was kind of halfway sort of relevant. All right.
Anyway,
Well, there's your show, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Hank Aaron, because he's got a hankering. Hell to the yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a fun show. Spencer, thank you, my man, as always, for being an excellent co-host. I hope that you're right about everything you picked this week. You picked all the teams I want to win. I picked all the teams I thought were going to actually win. But I hope you're right.
I need to start picking the teams that.
Well,
should
no,
win
you
the
picked.
game.
No, you picked
I need to
Alabama.
start-
You picked Alabama. You did good.
Yeah, I need to start picking the favorites more.
You
because I
would
pick
have
upsets. a
you
lot.
would have sacrificed 3 points if you had picked Arkansas there, but I could eat my words. We'll see. Brian, as always, thank you, my friend. Steven, if you're still in here, thank you, my man. And we're going to be out of here.
Thank you for watching.
Brandy, if you're still in here, absolutely. Thank you, Brandy. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, same everything. Watch a lot of ball this weekend, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Like the video, share the video, subscribe. Bye.